In a highly anticipated ruling, the U.S. Supreme Court handed President Joe Biden a painful defeat on Friday, blocking his plan to cancel $430 billion in student loan debt, a move that had been intended to benefit up to 43 million Americans and fulfill a campaign promise. Reuters news agency reported on Friday morning that the justices ruled against Biden in a 6-3 decision, favoring 6 conservative-leaning states that objected to the policy. The court's action dealt a blow to the 26 million U.S. borrowers who had applied for relief after Biden announced the plan in August of 2022 and represented a political setback for the Democratic president. Chief Justice John Roberts joined the court's 5 other conservative members, wrote the ruling. The court's 3 liberals dissented. Justice Roberts denied the Biden administration's argument that the loan forgiveness program was merely a modification of an existing program and noted that such broad action would require clear congressional approval. The court's ruling invoked what is called major questions doctrine, a muscular approach that gives judges broad discretion to invalidate executive agency actions of, quote, vast economic and political significance, unquote, unless Congress clearly authorized them in legislation. A White House source speaking on condition of anonymity said Biden plans to announce new actions to protect student loan borrowers in the wake of the ruling. The source said, "We strongly disagree with the court. We prepared for this scenario." President Biden is expected to say more on the subject matter later on Friday. The source added that the president will make clear that he's not yet done fighting. Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, and South Carolina all challenged Biden's debt relief program. 2 individual borrowers had also opposed Biden's eligibility requirements, but the justices dismissed their challenge on Friday due to a lack of legal standing. The court acted on its final day of rulings in its term that began in October. 26 million U.S. borrowers applied for relief between when Biden announced the plan in August of 2022 until last November, when lower courts blocked the plan. Biden's plan fulfilled his 2022 campaign promise to cancel a portion of $1.6 trillion in federal student loan debt, but was criticized by Republicans who called it an overreach of his authority and an unfair benefit to college-educated borrowers, while other borrowers received no such relief. President Biden is seeking re-election next year. Under the plan, the U.S. government would forgive up to $10,000 in federal student debt for Americans making under $125,000 a year who obtain loans to pay for college and other post-secondary education, and $20,000 for recipients of Pell Grants to students from lower-income families. During February arguments in the loans case, the Biden administration said the plan was authorized under a 2003 federal law called Higher Education Relief Opportunities for Students Act, or the HEROES Act, which empowers the U.S. Education Secretary to waive or modify student financial assistance during war or national emergencies. The court's conservative justices have previously used the major questions doctrine to invalidate major Biden policies deemed lacking clear congressional authorization. They did so when they blocked the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention from extending eviction protections for cash-strapped residential renters, stymied Biden's COVID-19 vaccination or testing mandate for large businesses, and restricted the Environmental Protection Agency's power to regulate carbon emissions from power plants. Some 53% of Americans said they support Biden's debt relief, with 45% opposed. That's according to a Reuters Ipsos poll from March, with respondents dividing sharply along partisan lines, with Democrats broadly supportive and Republicans generally opposed. I'm Kevin Carlson. Thank you so very much for sharing your valuable time with me today. If you've liked the video, please leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the Generation Jones channel. Till we meet again next time, have a great weekend.